This could be the best pickup line we've ever invented.
We're inventing pickup
If
lines.
a guy said to you, what's the top 3 things that you need in a relationship?
Probably
turned on.
I'd be getting him a cake cut. Hang on, I'll just put you on FaceTime with me, Mum. Love you.
Welcome to just another group chat. We have 2 lovely guests today with us. We have the lovely Hannah,
Hi.
co-host.
Yeah.
Can we call you co-host?
That would be nice.
Yeah,
be nice.
Co-host Han. And we also have our lovely Liza.
Hello.
So Liza is one of our lovely staff members here at WBCo. I've got a cold. Apologies in advance.
Yeah.
Sound a bit coldy, don't I?
You do. It's sniffly.
It's worse when you're on the podcast and you listen back. You're like, well, God, have I had a cold then? Definitely had a cold.
I was under the weather then.
Yeah. So, interesting topic today, what women want or what women really want. So, just to clear a few things up, we're talking from a female perspective here. So, this doesn't specifically mean from men. It can be from any relationship of any sexuality. So, yeah, just basically we're going to chat about as a female, if that's what you identify as, then what do you want? So, talking about relationships here, because not in life, that would be just a far too big podcast, would be here for 5 hours. In relationships, if I said to you guys now,
Yeah.
what's the top 3 things that you need in a relationship?
I think it's really subjective. Like, I think that's changed throughout my ages. Like,
Has it? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Carry
so
on.
I think currently, if you talk about currently now, my top 3 would be a partner who can really help me with the kids and like family and support. A
team member, isn't it?
Team member, totally. Security.
Yeah.
And someone who I can just have a bit of a laugh with in terms of life goals, because raising kids and having a family and all that and juggling everything is hard. It's hard flipping work.
Yeah.
So just someone who I can
Just be a bit lighthearted with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but that has really much changed.
So what would it used to be?
I think it just
Like before I
depends.
met
Like
Jimmy?
in early teens, it was all about, I don't know if they had a car.
I used to be like that, they must have a car.
Yeah, they must have a car.
That's a good one.
They must, I don't know, have a bit of cash. Was probably another
Really?
thing. Yeah, have a bit of cash, car, and they were fit.
Yeah.
I think that was the
Cash, car and fit.
that was probably my top 3 when I was like a teen. But as you go on, like that evolved again. Probably when I was in my 20s. At
See,
uni.
I remember thinking car was a definite one because I wanted freedom.
Yeah.
I remember thinking I wanted them to have a job because I didn't want them to be. I wanted someone with ambition. Do you know what I mean? So, and I remember.
What, in your early teens?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I remember thinking, I remember also thinking I wanted them to be healthy. I wasn't so bothered about physique, but I wanted them to be able to look after themselves.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I didn't have any
Wow.
of that in my early teens. It was,
Did you not?
No. I was a lot more fickle. Definitely.
I wanted someone who looked old enough to go in the shop.
Buy some cider.
Buy some
White
white
light,
light.
get me flipping 10 Marlboro light and some flipping white lightning, and I'll marry you.
Get in.
I think I did
to be
yours
fair.
when I was a bit older.
But I think on my list was really nice face as well.
Yeah, that's
I always liked a
important.
nice face.
It helps to be attracted to somebody like.
Do you know what else? For me, I had a list. That's why there wasn't a 3. And being funny was always always
yeah,
one for
that's
me.
a
I
really
needed someone who was
important
like making us laugh and that.
Uh-huh.
Hannah, what's your top 3?
Top
Has
3.
it changed?
So I thought about this a lot last night. So now it's respect, honesty, and humour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I need them to respect who I am, what I do,
Yeah.
respect my independence,
Yeah.
respect my need to live my life.
Yeah.
Honesty, because I'm really direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I
yeah.
will say when I do get the honesty, sometimes I'm like,
You don't want it.
and it's not what you want to hear. You're like, why didn't you just lie? And then humour, because I like to laugh and I like to, and I think it's really, like you said, Liza, it's so important. Like life gets hard, like
Yeah.
and you need that somebody to bounce off. Whether whatever your humour is, like
You need someone to be able to share it with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to just be silly with sometimes and kind of
You need
regress
a
a bit and
light relief.
yeah. So, but when I was younger, what did I think? I wasn't really bothered. Like I was just
whatever. When anything goes.
It was just beautiful face.
Yeah.
Was into us
Yeah.
and Aye.
I think you're still, when you're a
Like
kid,
to drink.
working that out though, aren't you? You don't really know. So you're kind of testing the water in lots of different areas.
Yeah.
And I think as you mature, you kind of really refine and you know what you're looking for.
So for me, I remember thinking, this is my list of things I
Yeah.
need in a relationship, right? I remember actually thinking this. This is what I need. And then I had my first boyfriend and he ticked some of them. And then as I got to know him a bit more, as we grew up more likely, because we met when we were very young and then I think we were together about 4 years. So as we grew together, some of those things changed and we matured a bit more and I matured a bit more. But yeah, and I think that list became, actually I thought I wanted that, but that's not important. So I'm going to scratch that off my list and I'm going to write this instead.
Yeah.
So then by the time you look for your second partner, you know your list of what you're looking for is a bit more refined.
Yeah.
And then you maybe have another relationship and you go through that again and you take some of those things off. So I think as you get older, for me, that list becomes more clearer.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
completely.
and that's what I did to the point where I was like, yeah, tick, tick, tick. This guy's got all the things I need in a relationship and
Yeah.
good to go.
I feel like as well, like if you go through life and you have like more than one partner, like that helps with that to refine it. But I look at like my mum and dad and they've been together. Like my dad is the only person that my mum's ever been with.
Really?
From like a very, very young age.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, but how do you know that's like, I mean, they've been married for 30 odd years.
But you might get that person
Like,
who
just-
takes everything and then you don't change your list.
Or that, like, but I've seen, like, this sounds silly. I mean, more so in the last sort of 10, 15 years when I've become more aware of it. Like, I've seen them grow together. Yeah. Like, they work really hard. Like, they've got a good relationship.
Yeah.
And, like, but it
Work
hasn't
on
been
it.
without its difficulties.
they work on it.
And they've, like, gone, this is really difficult, but...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are they both great communicators?
No.
Is one of them a really good communicator?
I would say my mum's better than my dad.
And does she must manage to get what she needs out of your dad? Communication wise, I mean.
It probably takes a bit more time. I think he's better as he gets older.
Yeah.
Like, but my dad's very much stereotypical Mackham, like, do you know, like not stereotypical because he's mint and he's one of a kind. Like, I love him to bits. But you know, there's that sort of he came from a culture where you didn't really talk about your feelings and things.
Yeah.
So
quite macho and like
whereas me and my mum are very similar. Like, we're really like super sensitive and we'll talk about stuff. And whereas my
Very
dad and my
open.
younger sister are very similar in that they won't talk about things, and you have to like really needle them a little bit. But you do get there. In the end.
So this is quite interesting because I was thinking about this last night. I'm very similar to your mum and dad in that I've known Jimmy for 25 years and we've been married for 15.
Wow.
So what I was looking for in a guy when I was kind of first met Jimmy was very different to what I'm looking for with a guy now, even though I'm not looking for a guy, but you know what I mean, in terms of what like qualities. So that has evolved.
Yeah.
But he's gone along with that. Mm-hmm. So I must have picked like a really good guy.
Yeah.
Because he has evolved
Jimmy's
into
great.
Someone
it.
who can kind of, I guess, be
Adapt.
self-aware
Yeah,
and learn
exactly.
and grow, like you say. There's so much to it. So there's the usual stuff. I've asked a lot of people this. There's the usual stuff like, what do you want? What do you really want? And the usual stuff comes up: communication, respect, safety, trust, romance, equality. You know, all these different things that come up. But none of that helps when you are in a relationship and you're like, I just want more respect, because I feel like this is where there's different love languages and there's different women are from Mars and men are from whatever it is, Mars and women are from Venus, because everybody communicates differently. And I think especially male and female, how they communicate is very different. So I came up with this thing.
Right.
And I think it's marvellous.
Go on.
I've done it with a few people. So if you're listening, you'll be able to download this. I've called it the Relationship Wheel. And it's for anybody who just wants to explore their relationship, figure out if there's any work they can do on their relationship, if anybody's struggling to communicate with their partner, if anybody's particularly unhappy and they don't know how to tell their partner they're unhappy. This is a really good way to kind of just communicate. So it's called the Relationship Wheel. You can download it. You're going to need a printout, or you can do it on your phone if you can download it on your phone.
Right.
And 2 different coloured pens. So I'm going to give these out now to you guys, and we're going to do it.
Amazing.
You love a whale.
I'm excited.
I love a whale.
I love a whale, to be fair, though.
So, this relationship wheel, what it does is just break things down in terms of what people are actually trying to look for in a relationship. So, what you have to do is, there's like, it's like a star in the middle.
Yeah.
What's that thing called there? Is it like a star just with lines?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a star.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
a wheel spoke.
It's like a pie chart without the outside.
Yeah.
Anyway. And what we're going to do is we're going to write. So I've put an example on the back just so people can get it. We're going to write. We'll do the first 3 first. You're going to write what are the 3 most important things for you to make you feel loved. So the question, I guess, is what do you need to feel loved? So that might be, some of the examples I've put is like affection, intimacy, sex. It might be time. It might be independence. It might be adventure. It can be anything. You might say gifts. You might say whatever makes you feel loved, and you know that you feel loved when this happens to you. It might be PDA. I'm not even joking. Someone might put PDA on this list. So write out the first 3 are things that you go at without a relationship. If this person doesn't give me these things, I really can't cope. Write those things out. It might be physique. It might be I need them to have a fit body. It might be I need them to be loaded. It might be I don't know what. You have to know yourself a little bit to be able to do this. Yeah. What are you after?
A minimum length.
A minimum length. Minimum length. That's important to you.
No,
put minimum length.
No micro penises, thank you. Is there a difference between intimacy and affection?
Yes. Put it this way, are you affectionate to Milo?
Yeah.
Are you intimate with Milo? There you go then. That's your difference.
Oh, that turned me stomach.
Well, that's the difference.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. He's like me child.
But you can have affection towards your kids, your pets, you're showing love. Affection is a way of showing love. That might be in kisses and cuddles, in saying I love you, in words. It might be, but intimacy is about a sexual thing.
Yeah.
It becomes more about that closer relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a foot rub or a massage, that's more intimate than affection.
It's more like sensual and
yeah.
You know where it's going.
Yeah. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to chat about a couple of things that I think some people assume women want, but actually, do we really care? So, Liza, you've just mentioned that, like finance. Do we really care? I'm speaking. There's 3 of us. I'm not speaking for the entire world. From the people in the room, do we really care?
As long as
no. Do you know what? I don't think it's the be all and end all.
I don't.
I really don't.
Yeah.
If I think you can muddle through together. Yeah. In terms of that, I really do.
Yeah.
And I think there's far more important things in life than money.
Yeah. Some people lose absolutely everything, but they lose it together, don't they? Like overnight or...
Yeah, and some of the richest people in the world are really miserable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As long as...
Physique, do we really care?
No, probably when I was younger, I would say, that was like a really important thing for me.
Yeah.
But not now. Definitely not for me personally.
Hannah, do we really care?
Hannah's like...
I mean, it's nice. How do you say this?
I'll try and say it. You go then.
I just would like someone who looks after them. They don't have to go to the gym every single day.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be ripped with like...
You want someone who takes pride in themselves.
40 abs or whatever. But someone who,
For me, it's about the fact that I want them to care enough about me being attracted to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm interested in. I want them to care enough about themselves to stay... fit enough or healthy enough for me to still be attracted to them.
Yeah.
I think that whole let yourself go when you're in a relationship thing shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
So, size of manhood. Do we really care?
No, I don't think so. Again, probably when I was younger.
So just to reiterate, we do not care.
Yeah. It's not the size of the wave, it's the motion
of the ocean.
Definitely. It's not about the size of the nail, it's how you hit it.
Sometimes it's too big, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's different. I think if there's a guy who ticks every single box in the entire world, and then all of a sudden you get them in bed and they've got a smaller than average penis.
Yeah.
Do you care?
No,
we
definitely
don't
not.
care.
Don't.
Stop thinking that we care. We don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. I don't know any girl that's like,
That's like a number one
Yeah.
thing.
Nah.
Yeah. No, I don't.
they were the main things. I thought we just wanted to clear up that we don't care
Yeah,
about.
no, they're
So
good
have you done your
things.
things on your wheel?
I have indeed.
Were you doing 3?
I would say top 3 first.
Right.
three.
Have you done your top 3?
I have.
Liza? You
So
happy to share?
I've put life kind of family support.
Yeah.
That for me is like a really big thing.
Yeah.
For where I am in my life right
Being
now.
a team, yeah?
Yeah, team. Security,
Yeah.
which to me is different. That is like security is in.
But how do you get security? So this is the thing where you've got to drill down a little bit. So how do you get shown security? How can you find or I guess pinpoint if you met somebody now,
Yeah.
how would you go, oh, they'd make me feel secure?
Just the fact they've got a good job.
Yeah.
They've kind of not kind of fiddling their money away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
a bit of sensibility, I guess.
So sensibility.
Yeah,
So it's
sensibility.
more sensibility than anything. So it's more like maturity and sensibility.
Yeah,
isn't
maturity
it?
and sensibility. And then, which is a bit opposite, fun and adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of just finding that balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like my top 3.
Okay. So if you said to Jimmy, I need more fun and adventure, he'd understand that. If
totally.
you said, I need more security, he might not understand that.
No,
He
he
might not
maybe
know how
wouldn't.
to show you that.
Yeah.
So if you could think of another way to word that,
Right, okay.
to the point where you can say, I need more of this.
Yeah.
And Jimmy would understand it.
Right.
Write that one down. Han, what's yours?
I've got respect.
Yeah.
In all things.
Yeah.
Intimacy is
Yeah.
a big one for me.
Yeah.
And humour and fun.
Great.
Like having a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you explain respect? What does that look like?
So it's, I'll tell you what it is, and I'll draw on my experience of the last sort of year and a half I've been single. It's the respect for me and my surroundings and the way I live my life.
Yeah.
So I've had several men come to my house.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. It's been a pandemic. And some of them, this sounds really weird, but I've got a dog, for anyone who doesn't know. Milo, he's 4. He's a little whippet. He's mad as a hatter, but he's also like a couch potato half the time. And I've had some men come in and try to tell my dog what to do.
No.
Like
No,
they'll
that's not on.
go like, get down or stop it or whatever. And I'm like, do you have no respect for like
My dog.
my life? Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
my dog. This is my domain that you're
Yeah,
in, and
yeah.
you're coming in and and then I've had some men who come in who don't do that and just are very like,
Yeah.
no, like he's your
Yeah.
animal. Like you train him,
yeah.
so for me that's a massive one, that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a proper like, if and when I start seeing someone and if they come to my house, I'll look at how they go on with the dog, because I'm like,
Yeah.
if that's how you think you can just come in, and I don't really know if you've got
Yeah.
that much respect for the way that I live my life. And the way
Yeah.
that, does that make sense?
Yeah,
It
no,
does.
completely.
It does save a
And
bit.
as long as you can articulate it, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So if you write something down, as long as you can then articulate it to a partner or somebody that you might see, then that's absolutely fine.
Just
So
don't tell me dog what to do, or I'll nut you. I won't.
okay, now fill out as many others as you want. You can add lines if you want, but it must be things that you need in a relationship that make you feel loved. Without this entire circle of things, you don't feel very loved. So if you write out all those different things, I'm gonna, while you're writing them out, I'm gonna just quickly chat about a couple of tips I think we can give people about. The first thing I would say is keep your expectations real, like in a relationship. Like, don't expect, it's not Disney. Nobody's filming you. You're not on the Truman Show. Like, don't expect music halfway through the day when somebody looks at you from across the room. Like, just have realistic expectations and make sure they're healthy. I can't say it enough, and I'll continue to say it. Communication is everything. Mm-hmm. This is a communication tool that I'm going through with you today, but communication is everything. Ask questions, ask about their feelings, their opinions, their interests, talk, communicate. It's vital. There's a deck of cards I think you can get. I will find out the name of them. And it's about sharing out, like if you do live with a partner, household chores. And you go through the deck of, so if you're in a relationship where one person's like, I always do the washing, I always do the hoovering, and you're thinking they've never done the washing or the hoovering. There's a pack of cards that you can get, and you basically split them out and you go through, and it might say it takes the bin out, and you'll give that card to the other person,
Oh, I love this.
And then there'll be one that says does the laundry.
Yeah.
And you'll give that card to another person. So you split the chores so that it feels equal.
This is awesome.
So that if you are sat down and someone's doing the tea and the dishes, you don't feel guilty that they're doing the tea and the dishes and they don't need a medal afterwards because you've done the laundry and put the bin out or whatever it might be. So you split the tasks and you say, you're responsible for these things, I'm responsible for these things, and this works, rather than thinking, I do this all the time and they never do it. Fair play, I think it's called. No, it's not. I made that up. I will find the name of it and I'll let you know what the card says.
I used to know this couple who used to divvy the jobs out purely by what they thought. They used to call them pink and blue jobs.
Oh, wow.
So whatever they thought was a blue job.
Like taking the bins out and putting shelves up.
That's what they thought.
So I do all the jobs.
You do all the jobs. And that's how they...
White jobs. There's no... Milo doesn't lift a finger, so it's just
Right, have you done it?
Yep.
If there's something missing, write it on. But obviously, this should be everything. If you've got all of these things to the level that you need them, you'd have the perfect relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 different colour pens. You're going to start with the first colour pen, any colour. And you're going to put a line, similar to the example, on the diagram. The closer to the centre is 0. The closer to the outer circle is 10. Yeah, so 0 to 10. On that scale, draw a tiny little line where you need or how much of that you need. So if you need 10 out of 10 humour all the time, it's a really important thing. You need all that humour all the time. Put it at 10, put it right at the end. If you need intimacy, but not to the point where you're smothered. Do you know what I mean? So put it on a scale now and draw out your scales of what you need.
On each line?
On each single line. So
right,
if it's
okay.
romance, and you want romance, but not too much, you might put it at 3.
Right, okay.
And that's what you need. If it's time together and you want some good time together and it's but not to the point where you're smothered, you might put it at 6 or 7. Again, intimacy or PDA or anything like that, or sex. You might want it, but you don't want it 13 times a day. So
well, you might not.
I know. I said 13 because I thought, right, what's too much?
Lucky number.
And then let us know when you've done that.
Done.
Nearly done.
So at this point, you can either get your partner involved if you have a partner, or even, I'm not even joking when I say this, if you've been dating somebody for a little while, keep this on your wall if you need to. Just say, this is what I need in a relationship. This is what I'm looking for. These are the levels that I'm looking for. Because there needs to be an understanding from the other person that that's what they have to give.
Yeah.
And without that, it ain't going to work at some point. So you can get your partner involved now, or you can get them involved from the very beginning, or you can get them involved after and just show them and explain it to them. Next thing you're going to do is change colour, and you're going to write, if you are in a relationship, you're going to write what you currently get. And it might be over, it might be under, it might be exactly on the line. If you're not in a relationship, feel free to write what you usually get from the partners that you tend to pick.
Ooh. Spicy.
So what this does is, it makes you identify in quite clear lines what you're getting too much of, what you're not getting enough of.
Yeah,
and it makes you be able to communicate it quite easily with the partner to say, we need more time together. This is what we need to help our relationship. Or we need more adventure and fun. Or I need you to take me more seriously. Whatever it might be that is kind of important to you. Or you might say, I feel smothered, I've got too much affection from you. I've got too much PDA, I've got too much, whatever it might be. Hannah, you might look at it and go, wow, I pick people who, go on, tell us what you're thinking.
Just looking at this now, it's quite obvious the people that I pick and why I pick them and what I pick them for. Right. It's the 2 top 10, the ones that are at 10 that I get from people that if I think about the last couple of people that I've been with, is intimacy and fun.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm casually doing people, so that is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But equally, attention's through the floor.
Yeah.
Because it's casual and it's not really, and trust is as well, because it's like, they'd be doing out, which is fine because I'm also doing out, but like.
So does it make you think about the next person that you date if you might be looking for something a bit different at all? Yeah.
Yeah, massively.
Okay. Interesting. Liza?
Yeah, well, I kind of had top lines of life, family support, that kind of support system, and I think I'm quite high on that currently, and that's what I really want.
Yeah.
But the romance and the kind of sense of fun and adventure, I think we're really low on.
Yeah.
Just because we've got kids and we're busy.
Yeah.
So
the best thing about this, I think, is it breaks it down to one thing at a time as well.
Yeah,
you can
definitely.
pick one thing, come back to it, but pick one thing you're going to work on with your partner.
Yeah.
One thing. Doesn't have to be a big thing. Doesn't have to be all of them. Doesn't have to be overwhelming. You go, right, time or romance.
Yeah.
If romance is one of the things, you might go, right, romance, we're going to work on romance. So you literally can say, this is where I need to be and this is where I'm at. Let's push this a bit higher and I need a bit more romance. Ideally, what you do is you do this and your partner would do it as well.
Yeah. I think it's
so
really
you can see from your partner what they're after and what they need. And from my experience, guys really resonate with this. And every guy that's ever done it has gone, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. I think that, I can understand that. And it's clearly communicated what they're after. If they're wanting other things. Because otherwise, if you sit down and go to a guy, are you happy? Yeah. What do you want? What can we do? Don't know. Like, everything's fine. Or
they're not thinking about it in
they're
the
not,
detail.
They're not going to be able to do it. So this is just a really nice way of getting people to come up with a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
To how they can either improve or even perfect, or if you're dating, what you're looking for, what you're trying to kind of get from that relationship when you're in it.
I think
Makes
it's
sense?
really interesting.
Yeah.
And you can make it like really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you look at it from a whole, normally you can go, all right, like you've just said there, Hannah, there's a clear, obvious, normally with this, people can go, oh, wow, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people kind of go, oh, yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you haven't done this,
it's good.
if you haven't done it, sorry, that would have been really boring the last 20 minutes. But if you have done it, good for you. Yeah. And I would suggest you do it because it's definitely worth going through. I think as well, one of the reasons why I think this is good is because what everybody wants is different. So what women really want. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah. Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, unfortunately, is not our guest for today.
I mean,
imagine.
That'd be amazing.
That would be good.
Are you into Mel Gibson?
No,
in Braveheart.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
In Braveheart, Not even in Braveheart.
No, I've never seen Braveheart.
William Wallace.
You've never seen Braveheart?
No.
All right, well, that'll be a cinema
You need
night.
to watch it.
Yeah, I've never
We'll
seen
do a
it.
movie night in here.
Should we do a movie night in here?
Yeah, movie night.
What everybody wants is different. So what's on your sheet, Liza, what you need from a relationship will be very different to what's on mine, to be very different to what's on Tana's. They're all very different. So I think, how do you figure this out when you're dating someone?
Trial and error.
Yeah.
It really is. Got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Why don't you just ask?
Many errors.
Why can't we not just ask?
Because you ask and then they get flipping scared and then they run away.
Yeah.
Or no, if you ask them, what's a top, this is the question, and I would ask somebody on a date, what's the top 3 most important things in a relationship to you?
What, you'd sit down, have a glass of wine and that'd be your first question?
No, but I would ask that on a first date.
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be chatting to them and I would literally say, all right, so, and I would literally maybe make a joke of it and say, not that I'm looking for a relationship, whatever, but just interestingly, what's the top 3 most important things to you in a relationship? And I would also ask about sex drive.
Would you?
Yeah, right, would I?
On your first date?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember that far back, whether I did.
Because if somebody said, oh, to me, PDA and gifts and I would be like, say, yeah. I would be like, bye. I'd be like, I'm just going to the toilet.
Forever.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's just not someone who I'm ever going to be compatible with.
Yeah. No, it's good to ask.
You know what I mean? And they might say, oh, attention. And again, I would be like, I'm not the person for you because I'm not.
Do you think people lie, though? Do you think somebody would say, this is what she wants to hear, so I'm going to say this?
I don't know, but I think it would be hard to lie about that because what are they trying to... What would you say? What would be the perfect answer if you were given a lie?
They could maybe read the situation and think, oh, she's really looking for security, or she's really looking for, I don't know.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? And
yeah, they could just say the things that a lot of humans want, which is things like respect, trust, honesty.
Yeah, but that's when I would be like, nah, stop, you know,
like think
faffing on.
Like something else.
If you're dating, this is what I'd be doing. I would be saying, nah, I don't mean. So how do you mean communication? Like, what does that look like? Texting, ringing, talking.
right.
Let's talk about what it actually looks like. What it means to you. What does communication mean to you?
No, it's a fair point. Like, it's probably something I should do a bit more of, because I don't really.
I would ask
on
them.
the
And I
first
think,
date, yeah.
and
Swipe and look at a pretty face.
I think if there's a people out there that I might be like, how do I end up in these relationships? Or they might be in repeat kind of relationships where they don't get what they need from the same person. Or you might be in a relationship and think, this is never going to work because actually this doesn't
It's
match
not what I'm
up.
after, yeah.
How do I explain that to the other person? You might be going through a divorce and this might be a nice way of mutually deciding. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a million different ways you can use this to think, actually, this is what I need and can I give that to you? So if intimacy is really high on your list there, if somebody said to you, I'm just not that much of an intimate person,
then you know it's not what you're looking for.
would you be like, I cannot be with you?
Yeah,
Probably. So, and if somebody said romance was really high on theirs to me, I would be like, I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
Yeah,
that.
not,
I can't.
It's not a top priority for you.
There's ways that I like to be romantic in very different ways, but I'm not that obvious.
like PDA.
Yeah.
Sort of,
No, it's just not me.
Do you think you can get everything you need from one person?
No, I don't.
I think obviously not everything you need. You've got to be able to.
I think you can get everything on this graph from one person.
Yeah, like the things that you prioritize in a relationship.
Yes, I think you can definitely get that. But I also think, for me, a lot of the things that my friends bring me in my life and my family bring me are very different to what I'd need in a relationship or what I have in a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I get some of the fun and adventure that
From
I
them.
need from my friends.
Yeah. So is
Um,
that where you'd make a compromise in a relationship, do you think?
No, I don't, because it's a different type of fun and adventure that I need from a relationship. To be able to stay attracted to them, to be able to enjoy their company, to be able to, I don't know, feel happy and loved. And do you know what I mean?
Differentiating from your friends, isn't it? Essentially,
Yeah.
those things. What do you think about like polyamorous relationships and people who might like have more than one person in their life who they get different things from because they might have, 2 or 3 partners who one might be particularly affectionate, one might be particularly honest, one might be, and they get everything they need, but not all from one person.
I think it's absolutely great.
Yeah, I do. I totally get why people do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's
like you say, if this is what you need from a relationship, if that's from 3 different people, then it's from 3 different people. It's about fulfilling what you need.
Yeah.
I think
Not about trying to fit 2 people in the same box.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, completely. I think each to their own. If that's what works, then great.
Because I'd noticed like on dating apps and that there's a lot more sort of polyamorous people.
Is there?
Yeah,
Is there?
a lot more who say that they're either in established relationships and they're looking for a sort of a secondary partner, or they are in open. Some of them are in open marriages. Some of them, but they're very sort of open about it, and they're like, "Yeah, this is
what you get."
Situation. Yeah.
Would you struggle with jealousy with that? I think you have to be not a jealous person.
I think when I was in my 20s, yes, but now probably not so much.
Yeah, because it's is that because it's clearly communicated?
Exactly. I think as long as you're open and honest and you're very kind of like, this is what I'm doing, it's when there's secrecy.
Yeah.
And then that's where I think the trouble, occurs.
When you start to doubt and wonder and second guess, I think that's when.
But if everyone's on the same page.
It's about you feeling like, I don't know, have you ever broke up with somebody, or has anybody ever broke up with you just because of communication issue?
Yeah.
No, probably not. Not really.
I have. I think, do you think cheating's a communication issue?
In what sense?
Yeah.
Do you think that if somebody has, there's a lot of things around cheating when someone says, well, obviously weren't happy. Well, obviously weren't happy. Do you believe that?
Probably. And yeah, you're right. It probably is a communication thing. So it maybe would it have even got to that stage, escalated, if they were just said, look, I'm not happy. We need to start doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has, if you haven't done this.
Is that what you think, Anne?
Yeah, I think it, like, ultimately you're not happy, you're not content if you're looking elsewhere. But I think the question for me is, are you not happy with your relationship, or are you not happy with yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's exactly what I was just going to say. I don't think it means you're unhappy in relationship. I think it can definitely mean you're unhappy in yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it can mean because some people get complacent, some people just get really drunk and make a stupid mistake or a stupid decision. Some people do it willingly and openly and knowingly and think, no, that's fine, whatever, it makes us feel good. But that's about them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing I was saying, I think, on one of the previous podcasts, that if you take out the me part of things like this, like, it becomes a different conversation. So if somebody has cheated, or if you're in a relationship where somebody continues to cheat, or whatever it might be, they're not doing it to you. They're just doing it. It's their problem. It's their issue. It's their thing. So figure out whether you want to stick around and support that person through their thing, changing their thing, or whether you want to, I don't know, leave and do this with some new date.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes in, so
I've got a quiz. Imagine.
Brothers, sisters, etc. Right, we've got out there at the way. So I've got this relationship wheel. Have you got 2 different colour pens?
Why don't we call it the first date wheel?
The way it
First
comes over
date
with
wheel.
the food, and you're like, no, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
do
Just
the
fill
first-
out your wheel.
Just change the relationship wheel to first date wheel, and then they might not get so scared.
Maybe. I mean, I find that...
You don't have to do this, I'm being dramatic. You can definitely say, what's your top 3 most important things in a relationship? It's a normal question.
It is.
That's not a scary question.
And if they
That's
are
not
scared,
you asking to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's this stereotypical like thing as well of, especially when you're a woman in her 30s, that like
you're on the hunt.
You're craving for like marriage and babies and stuff.
That.
Like the last sort of person I was seeing. I mean, I was seeing him a prawn season. If you don't know what a prawn season is, DMs and I'll tell you. It's a very short period of time. And
no, you have to tell me what prawn season is.
Okay, so I said, you know how I come up with like sayings and nobody has never heard them, and I think that they're real, but they're not. So if you're with someone, or well, if you, I don't know, talking about somebody who's just got together with someone, you go, oh, they've only been together a prawn season. So a prawn season is a specific amount of time. I actually looked it up. It's like from August to September. Oh no, it's from like May to June or July, and then September to November, and that's the time that you're supposed to fish prawns. Apparently, I mean, I heard this off Google.
Oh, right. Okay.
Got this off Google, so I don't know if it's true or not. But
okay, so it's just a short amount of time, but it's
just very
specific.
short
Amount of time. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying them for a prawn season.
Very much a prawn season, and like, and then we kind of went on a few dates, and it was really nice, and then kind of cooled off because he had some like exams to do. He is a adult human being, like he's doing stuff, and then I'd messaged asking about like how his exams went and all the rest of it, and then I was at a party, I was a little bit drunk, and I was like, oh, do you want to hang out? And I got this like massive long message about which was it, when I reflect on it now, it was a lovely message in terms of, you know, letting somebody down and stuff, but like the age thing was a big thing,
right.
So he was like, the age thing is concerning because he was 26 and I'm 33. And he was like, I feel like we'd be at different points in our lives. And I had to be like, yeah, no, I'm not looking to like get married and have kids with you. Like, it's not.
That would have been clearly communicated if you'd given your top 3 things and he'd given his top 3.
But I did communicate that.
Did you?
I mean, I think a lot of people, anybody who listens to the podcast and people who I talk to, were pretty clear on my stance on things like that at the minute. And what I'm sort of envisioning my life to be like the next 5 years or whatever. So it was just, I just feel like as you get a little bit older and you know, the biological clock is ticking. People assume that that's what you're looking for. That's
frustrating.
It's very frustrating because it feels like you have to be like, right, by the way, I don't want to get pregnant. Like, you know, like I don't like. So it is a bit exasperating when you
I can imagine.
But
that's hard.
It's just part of life, isn't it?
Kirsty's got a few things to say about
Amazing.
what women want. So, Liza, we're going to switch you up with Kerr, if that's all right.
That's fab.
Marvellous.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Liza.
Thank you for being a marvellous
That was
guest.
fun. I loved it.
Mint.
And being on it's your first time on our
It's my
podcast.
first podcast.
So there we go, we'll get you back.
Amazing.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Kerr, welcome. Hello to just another group chat. We have been chatting about what women want.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't come up with a list of like, this is what women want. We did go through a few things that women don't necessarily care about that people might assume we do. I'm speaking for all of women here.
The entire race of women.
We've done the relationship wheel, my relationship wheel.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
So you've done that before.
Yes, I have.
And you've done it in your relationship
Yes.
with your partner.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So yeah, basically, if you want anything else out of your relationship, just do the wheel. No, it's a good way of expression to your partner of ways to let them know what you need more of.
How did he find it?
Oh God, he took it more serious than me. He did it afterwards, and he was like, "Right, no, I need 10 more minutes on this thing." God, making me nervous now.
Would it normally be difficult to get him to do something like that?
I think it was easier. I think it was easier to get him to do it because I showed him that I'd done it, and I was like, "Well, I've done it, so now it's your turn."
Right.
And if you don't do it, then points 3, 4, and 5 definitely apply.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fine. He did it. I'm not quite sure whether he just did it because he wanted to shut us up or whether
But it happened and it's helped.
it helped. Yeah, I found some new things out.
There you go. It's great.
Yeah, it's canny.
What do women want?
Oh, in what areas?
So just in terms of a relationship we're chatting about more than anything. So we kind of, I'll catch you up to speed. Basically, we've kind of discovered, I guess, or chatted about that what Hannah wants, what I want, what Liza wants, what you want is all going to be very different.
Mm-hmm.
So that that communication is totally key and that you have to discuss it. I was saying you can ask somebody on a first date, like, what's top 3 things that you need in a relationship?
Yeah.
You can chat to them about it. You can ask them. You can be more aware of what you're getting versus what you need.
Yeah. I think everybody will all have one thing in common though.
What?
Honesty.
Women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that
What does
doesn't.
honesty look like?
It looks like telling the truth instead of lying. Not trying to hide things, just being open and honest. I think guys in particular have this perception that if they don't want to upset their woman in a sense.
Must not upset woman.
Yeah, I will not upset my woman. So if they're gonna tell their missus something that's going to upset them, they might just choose not to tell them rather than actually telling them, because what's worse for all womankind is not being told in the first place. Whatever it might be, I think womankind would rather have a conversation than not have a conversation.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Whatever that conversation might be.
Yeah.
And actually, sometimes after having that conversation, you actually feel closer.
All right, yeah.
I mean, it depends what the conversation is. But yeah.
All right, okay. So honesty and just being open and being able to communicate.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think women want?
Good sex.
Do you think that's on everybody's list?
Not everybody's, but I feel like it should be.
What about if you're asexual?
Well, then no. Shouldn't be on your list because you're asexual.
So in terms of a relationship, we've put that down, I guess, as intimacy. Because I think it doesn't have to be sex. It can be intimacy of some form.
True, yeah.
It might be a foot rub. It might be a massage. It might be, I don't know, something else that's intimate.
Just cuddling in bed.
Yeah.
We need clears on.
Oh, you
Snuggling.
said colouring in bed.
Colouring in bed.
Get the
Let's get
pens
the
out.
colouring books out. Have a little colour.
Do you know when you first meet someone and you're dating them and stuff, and you think about, you might fantasize about going around there and having a good old shag. But I haven't said shag in about 3 years.
Austin Powers.
Yes,
But
baby.
also, you might think, I can't wait to snuggle in with them on the sofa and watch a movie. That's intimacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yep.
So intimacy, I think, is vital to most relationships, unless you are asexual and that's something that you don't want. But in form of sex, it doesn't have to be sex. It can be other ways.
Yeah. I mean, again, depends on the woman.
So I know some women that do just need sex how many times a day, or whatever it might be.
I think I think there's a category of things that is personal to each individual. And then I think there's just general, like, common sense stuff. Like, don't cheat about and, like, be honest and, you know, don't be a dick.
It's the basics, isn't it?
It is the basics.
The basic level.
Don't be a dick.
Like, but that, for me, that comes to respect. Like, respect who you're with. And like, if you do want to go and dip your wick in a million other people, that's absolutely fine. Just fucking tell the person that you're with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling this way. Is this something that you would want to explore in terms of an open relationship, or is that not for you? Because if that's not for you, then we need to have another conversation. Yeah. If it is for you, then that's great. We'll talk about navigating that. But like, don't do it and then call her a psycho because she flipping has gone through your phone. Because, by the way, women have intuition like nobody's business. Like,
oh yeah,
my gut feeling in the last year and a half, I think, has probably evolved to like next level, like 11 from Stranger Things level of power. Because I feel like I can just pick it up like that now. Maybe because I've been with a lot of people. I really don't paint myself in a very good picture on this, do I? But I've had a fair bit of experience with people, with mostly men, where now that I'm like, I can see it coming a mile off. Yeah. And the last couple of people that I've sort of been seeing, I've had to almost like needle it out of them. Like, I'm like, I just need you to see it and then we can just move on. And it irks us because I'm like, I shouldn't have to be the one chasing you to tell the truth.
Yeah. Do you think those guys that in that situation though, do you think they're doing that because they know as soon as they tell the truth, they lose you as a plaything?
Potentially, yeah. That could be a thing.
Because then sometimes if they're not 100% truthful in that situation, it's usually because I
just think those guys need to look at what they're actually trying to achieve and what they're trying to get from the other person. Because if it's affection and love or sex or it makes them feel good, like, I really think they must have a really low self-esteem. Like, they must. Because because if we're on video now, Kurt.
Oh yeah,
sorry. So I think they must, because otherwise they're literally searching from one person to the next to give them a little bit of a high.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. To make them feel good. That's why they're doing it.
Relate.
I think it's one of the things. But yeah, I think it's different for everybody. Communication is key. And if there's a secret recipe to what women want, it is literally talking.
Do you think men and women assume that women want like luxury things like handbags and
I think some guys
holidays
do,
but
some do, yeah.
I mean, some women do want that.
Yeah. Can I ask, if you're on a first date and a guy said to you, because this could be the best pickup line we've ever invented.
We're inventing pickup lines.
If a guy said to you, what's the top 3 things that you need in a relationship?
Oh,
I'd probably
turned on. Sorry,
I'd probably be at the flipping.
Would you be like, we're just going home right now?
I'd be getting him a cake cut. Hang on, I'll just put you on FaceTime with me, Mum. Love you.
But no, I think that for me, that is, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, I'm either doing one of 2 things: a very nice service to guys out there, or a horrendous service to females by giving the guys the trick of ask that question. And that'll get you places.
Yeah. What if though? What if again he's a dick about it, and he's like, "Hey, what's your top?" Like,
why is he American?
Douchey about it. I don't know. Hey.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh my god! Yeah. What if he's Johnny Bravo? What if he's a dick about it, and he's like cocky and asks the same question in a cocky manner across the table, and you've only known him 5 minutes.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Like, you're on a first date and there's a guy and he's chatting away with you and you've known him 5 minutes. You've got his leave. And then he says the exact same question.
How can you say that question and be cocky?
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, go on.
What's the question again?
No, let's not.
No, let's not. Okay.
I feel like it's getting weird.
Okay.
If they're weird about it, then they're weird. Like,
Oh,
just
like,
leave.
do you mean immature about it? I feel like it's like an immaturity thing. If you ask that question to someone and they suddenly become defensive or, like you say, maybe a bit cocky or a bit sort of deflective or whatever,
arrogant.
it's probably because they haven't thought about it and you've caught them off guard. So, like, I think in that, if you like that person, you'd be like, look, you don't have to answer right now. Like, but, you know, have a bit of time to think about it. But, like, I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why waste time? Like,
So what if they say, like, bondage, something else, and you're a bit like, not for me, man. Was it?
a bit
That's not you. But.
In what universe? I'm like that.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, cool. So I feel like we haven't really given a definitive answer, but that was, I guess, kind of the point. The definitive answer is communication.
Yeah.
What do women want? Communication.
Yeah,
I don't know why I sang it.
The thing is, that's
It's a
the new
musical.
jingle, isn't it?
It's a musical now. Communication.
I think as well, like, you need to, so just from from where we live in the northeast of England, toxic masculinity is a huge thing here.
Yeah.
And men have been brought up to be men.
Yeah.
And to don't cry and don't think about this and don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. So I think as me personally, as a woman with, you know, emotional intelligence, I like to create a safe space for men that I'm dating.
Yeah.
And like explaining, like, it's absolutely fine. Like, however you feel, whatever you think, whatever you say is totally valid and it's completely fine. So don't ever feel embarrassed or ashamed or, you know, like you don't want to say anything. Because I think that's really important to have. You need to build that trust sometimes for. And again, I mean, it sounds very generalized, but you know, a lot of blokes are like, I wouldn't say a victim to this, but certainly like disadvantaged by it. Like they don't want to talk about it, so it is difficult. And I've had, I keep saying I've had a lot of men.
I've had a lot of men.
I've had a lot of experiences with men, you know, not just partners but friends as well, who really struggle to communicate.
Yeah, they do, and that's why I think this works.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to think too much about your feelings.
Yeah.
You just have to think about what you want and what you're getting.
Yeah.
And if you break it down into the way that this works is first of all thinking of the categories and then thinking about how much, and it does tend to work.
Do you think, how we're saying what women want, do you think all the answers we've given are the same answers for if we ask the question, what do men want?
Let's do a podcast on that.
Because I think they're probably the same.
I don't.
Do you not?
No.
Why?
Because I don't.
Shakara, why?
Ooh.
I think that it's very personal. I think it's...
But it is for women?
Yeah, but there's not... That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a definitive list that we can say all women want this. I don't think that's the case.
Do you know?
No.
I think there's a definitive.
Do you think there's a
couple of things that,
like what?
Because here we go, the patriarchy has oppressed women for so long, and our safety has always been questioned, questionable, and our independence has always been questionable. Like those two things, I think, are really important. Like you get in a relationship with someone, and you want to feel safe, and you don't always, and this got very deep very quickly, but like that, you know, that's something that I think all women want to feel is safe, but and free to, like, I would love, so if I was in a relationship, I could walk my dog at 9 or 10 o'clock at night with my partner and feel safe. I couldn't do that on my own.
No.
So there's that sort of element to it, which, you know, kind of throws me feminism out the window a little bit when I'm like, I just want to really like 6'5" tall, dark, handsome man covered in tattoos who I can walk my dog with in the middle of the night and nobody's going to flip and try and kill us. Like, do you know what I mean?
So do you think every woman wants an element of safety from a partner?
I think because of the way the patriarchy as well, I think is the way the world is.
But we're very much talking about female and male.
So I think that's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Majority
what women would want versus what men would want. I think there's probably some more in there.
Yeah.
But I think those are the ones that would differ, and it's probably all down to patriarchy.
And equality, equal opportunities, and things like you're not. I mean, some women, again, this is very generalised, and it's just coming from my sort of sexual experiences that I've had so far, women don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel like the housewife. I don't want to feel like the paid help.
But some people do.
Like, some people do, and that's absolutely fine. Like, again, my mum's very much fantastic at keeping a beautiful house and keeping it clean. She loves doing that. She loves being a mother, and that's amazing, and she's fucking brilliant at it. But it's not for everyone, and I think, but even still, there has to be that equal. But at the same time, my mum is the main breadwinner in the house. Yeah. So there's that equal opportunity, that balance of feeling like, you know, you're both on the same level. Yeah. Regardless of how you do it and how you work it. I think I would be as bold to say that most, if not all, women would want something like that. Yeah. But I mean, don't come for us if you don't. Slide in my DMs, like.
Yeah, so if you've got any comments to make, if you disagree, agree, let us know. We might do a part 2 on what men want. We'll get some guys in. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And we'll see. We'll do the same kind of relationship wheel with them, and we'll ask them to do it beforehand, and we'll get some men in. We'll see, get some men in, and we'll see what they think. Yeah, this has been interesting. I would recommend you download it. I'd recommend you do it. If you're in a relationship, if you're not, either way, worth doing, Han?
Yeah, I would say so.
Worth doing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Give it a go. And yeah, if you've got any other comments or suggestions of what we think we can add into our What Men Want, please give us a message. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, if you've been watching as well. We will see you guys next week on Just Another Group Chat.